Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Elizabeth and it is Sunday, March 8th, 2020. Excuse me. So I'm going to be doing a reading for the element of fire, that is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and from the element of fire. So if you are an Aries, Leo, Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter, this reading will be for you. And if you're someone who is looking to tap into the energy of the fire element, this will also be a great reading for you to watch, as fire rules our passions, our creativity, our inspirations, also our driving force and our will, the actions that we take out into the world around us. So if you're looking for any direction or guidance around those aspects of your life, this would be an appropriate video to watch. This message will be good for and through till the end of March. So it's a very big time of the year in astrology. This is going to be marking the end of the astrological new year. So that would be the equinox that is coming up at the end of the month. That's the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere, and then the autumn equinox in the southern hemisphere. So that is a time of equal light and dark that we're coming to. In the northern hemisphere, we're leaving this kind of long, cold winter and coming into the fresh spring of rebirth and new life. The Fool energy in the tarot marks the beginning of the astrological new year. And in the southern hemisphere, you'll be moving away from those very long days and hot days of summer into the cooler, crisper air of autumn with all of the beautiful, vibrant colors of the changing leaves. So definitely a shift in energy that we can expect to feel this month, and coming into April, of course. And also tomorrow on the 9th, Monday the 9th, being the full moon in Virgo, the end of Mercury Retrograde, which is in Pisces right now. So we're very excited about coming out of that, seeing what this full moon in Virgo is going to ask us to release. And it is a big release. This is a big moon because it is the last moon of the astrological year. Pisces being the last and 12th sign in the zodiac, ruling the 12th house of endings and beginnings. So it has been, think about where you were at last year, starting around, March, April, and it's everything that's culminated since then. So the Gregorian calendar says that our new year starts on January 1st, and a lot of people make their resolutions on January 1st and really start planning and thinking about the year ahead. But sometimes that energy just gets kind of stalled or even stuck a little bit, and we often wonder why. And in my opinion, that's because the true new year is at the end of March, and that is the astrological new year. So we may feel all of the things that we were thinking about in December and January really starting to pick up again and be able to breathe new life into that. Okay, so those are kind of some of the energies that we're moving through. We also have this conjunction between the Sun and Neptune. Now Neptune rules Pisces, and this conjunction is important because it is sort of bringing all of the subconscious elements to light. And a message that I had received like last week was that there's nowhere for the shadow to hide anymore. Everything's being brought to light. And not that Neptune necessarily represents the shadow, but it does represent the polarity of things, like Pisces being the fish with the two fish kind of going in opposite directions. The polarity, the duality of things such as heaven and earth, heaven and hell, illusion and fantasy versus reality and earthly things. And that's kind of the axis between Pisces and Virgo, this full moon that we're going to be moving through. So in any event, there are sort of these big energies at play, and with the Sun conjunct Neptune, it's a lot of things that are just really being brought to light. Like whether it's things in our subconscious, whether it's things out there in the collective, things are really going to be coming to light. And the sun always is a fortuitous ally, right? It gives life. It's always a fortuitous ally. So anytime the sun is conjunct something, it's sort of a blessing. It blesses that energy. So that's really beautiful. Okay, so let's get into the reading. What I'm going to do today for the element of fire and from the element of fire is start off with a crystal card from the Crystal Allies Oracle deck. And then I'm going to pull a fractal art card from the Return of Spirit Oracle deck by Cheryl Lee Harnish, whom I love and adore. And then the tarot portion will do the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. So I think that'll be really lovely to get the tarot reading from that. And then I have sort of an array of decks that we can pull some oracle cards from if time permits at the end of the reading. This is a general reading, so it won't resonate for everyone. I'm really tapping into the energy of as many soul groups as I can while still being able to form a cohesive story that makes sense, but hopefully being able to reach as many souls as possible. Let's see, what else? I think that's it. I think we'll just get started, okay? So we're gonna get a crystal card. Oh, I know what else. In my pre-meditative session, when I was feeling into the energy of fire, I felt a sense of quiet. And this is very important. I think that this is going to resonate for a lot of you. The fire element felt quiet and contained, so that it wasn't raging. It wasn't a raging fire. It was dancing, and it was sort of quiet. And I feel like Aries, Leo, Sag, you know, there could be a sense of quiet coming from you right now where you're not necessarily out there so strongly the way that fire signs can be, that you're kind of just feeling like a sense of restraint and reservation, like feeling a little bit more reserved and conservative with your sharings with other people and your dealings with other people. That this may really be a time where you are keeping to yourself a little bit more, or yeah, just a quiet. It felt very quiet. So I'll see why that is and if that wants to come through in the reading. I also felt Mother Mary, and she was around the fire, if that makes sense. She was sort of holding the fire, not in a controlling way, but she was there to support the energy of the fire element. And Mother Mary, and today being International Women's Day, you know, she brings in the energy of pure unconditional love, purity, grace, the divine feminine, the sacred feminine, and that the sacred feminine was sort of surrounding the fire and protecting it and keeping it safe. And so the fire being the more masculine yang energy, you know, linked into the solar plexus, linked into the sun, that this feminine energy was around the fire and sort of softening it a bit, if that makes sense, softening it. There was a stillness, but like I said, the fire was sort of, you know, it was dancing a bit too. So it didn't feel like there was any blockage. It didn't feel like this was an inability to express. It felt more intentional. And I'm thinking, you know, too, with the Mercury retrograde, and just like I said, closing out the astrological new year, there may be a lot of review and reflection and really taking your time with your process. Yeah, so we'll see what wants to come through in the reading. So we're going to pull crystal cards so that we can get some crystal healing for and from the energy of fire. So let's see what wants to come out for you guys. I hope that you're doing really well and that you had a great weekend. It's Sunday night here in Sedona, which is where I'm coming to you from. We had a beautiful weekend. It's really started to warm up and the sun has been shining. I hope that you're all healthy and experiencing blessed and good health. we won't say the name of the virus that has everybody in fear mode. Well, not everybody, but has a greater portion of the collective in a fear mode. And so that was something I wanted to touch on too, was just to say, you know, don't feed the fears, guys. Do not feed the fears. Take a precaution, you know, wash your hands, that kind of thing. Stay healthy, get vitamin D, take your vitamin C, that kind of thing. Maybe take some extra zinc and things like that. Connect with your crystals, connect with your higher aspects, your angelics, your guides, but don't feed the fears. And if that means, you know, turning off your TV, then please do that. I don't watch the news, you know, or the TV or anything like that. So one more shuffle and then we'll pull your crystal card. But I did want to address that. You know, I know a lot of people are in fear mode, and that could be where this kind of like quietness is coming from too, is the outside, even with the election, the upcoming election, the political climate, at least in the United States anyway. You know, there's just a lot of chatter and there's a lot of talking and there's a lot of things, you know, are always polarized, but it feels like they're a lot more polarized. Okay, guys, so I mean, you guys got the master of all master crystals, and that is clear quartz and clarity. I love it. Clear quartz and clarity. There we go. Look at this beautiful diamond. And it is like clear quartz to me is really the diamond light. It's a master crystal. It's a computer, you know, it's a computer. And, you know, in ancient civilizations like Lemuria and Atlantis, and probably even ancient Egypt, they, you know, they knew that quartz as a crystal, as a master crystal, was able to be programmed. And the clear quartz bringing clarity, you know, it's like bringing in the information from within you, from the universe, and having a sense of clarity. And that could also be why I was feeling this sense of quiet, of stillness from the element of fire, from the fire signs themselves. You could just be really in a place where you're gaining clarity around a lot of things right now, like things are becoming crystal clear for you. And if you're sitting there being like, well, I'm so confused, I don't know what you're talking about, like all I'm feeling is confusion right now, I understand, you know, that's definitely like the Pisces energy that we've been moving through. Pisces, you know, does rule fantasy, imagination, dreams, and can, you know, on one of its axis, it can be confusion. So if you are in a state where you are feeling kind of clouded, like the path forward is not clear, like you don't have clarity, then this is telling you work with clear quartz. Work with clear quartz. It's a really nice message. And like I said, it's a master crystal, so it can be programmed. So if you take a piece of quartz, this is a Lemurian, but if you take a piece of quartz and you want to program it to help you in a certain way, one of the easiest things that you can do when you get a piece of quartz, or even if you have one that you haven't like picked up in a while, is to just sort of like clear your space, burn some sage or some, you know, or something like that, some incense, and clear the energy. Tomorrow night you can put it out under the full moon if you'd like. You can charge it by the sun for a little while too if you want to do that. But one of the easiest things that you can do, the easiest ways to program a crystal, is to set your intention as to, you know, what you want this crystal to help you with. So manifesting a goal, you have a specific goal, or let's say it is around clarity, that you have decisions that you need to make, or you're just feeling foggy in general, right? Is by placing the crystal right over your third eye, right here, right over your third eye, closing your eyes, both feet on the ground, use your left hand, okay? And set the intention and actually visualize what you would like this crystal to help you with. Visualize it. You can speak out loud, but you're going to be activating it through your third eye. And you can do that for 30 seconds, you can do it for 3 minutes, you can do it for 15 minutes. And that's you communing with the consciousness of this computer, but better than a computer. And so every time you use the crystal, right, going forward after that, it will store your session with it in its memory bank. It'll actually store it in its memory bank. So that's the beauty of quartz. I mean, they use quartz in radio transmissions, in computers, in watches, in so many things, and we could be using it for so much more, you know, so you can look that up if you're not familiar with, you know, crystal therapy, crystal healing, energy work with crystals, manifesting with crystals, healing with crystals. You can certainly, there's so much information that you can, you know, that you can learn about and attune yourself to. But really, every time you use the same crystal, it holds a memory of the session, of the prior session. So it knows like kind of where you're at in your process. It's like going to a therapist, and your therapist has a book of notes from each of your sessions, and then you come back in and it says, okay, and your therapist says, okay, let's pick up where we left off. You know, it's the same thing with your crystal. Let's pick up where we left off. And so, you know, you can keep them in your pocket, meditate with them, put the crystal under your pillow at night while you're sleeping. Like all of those kinds of things, they're useful in so many ways. You can lay the crystal directly on your body. You can sort of like activate your space, a certain space. Let's say it's your workspace, and you're using this for business or something like that. You know, you would put the crystal, keep it with you while you're working during the day, that kind of thing. Clear quartz, like I said, is a master. If you feel more drawn to like a smoky quartz for protection or that kind of thing, you can use smoky. Citrine is another form of quartz, and that would be for like manifesting abundance and wealth, also for enlivening the solar plexus chakra. So this is good for like taking action, inspired action, you know, feeling joyful. If you've been feeling like a little low energy, citrine can sort of bring your energy back. And then there's also, you know, rose quartz, which will activate your heart chakra for healing. I think I have one. Get one. Rose quartz, so for activating the heart chakra for healing. Rose quartz, interestingly, seems to be the only quartz in the family that doesn't grow naturally in points, right? It's so interesting to me, you know, and I wonder if that's because it's linked into the heart chakra, which is, which doesn't have such sharp points to it, right? So, so yeah, you know, and then there's all of the aura quartz that have been alchemized by man. So we have, like an aqua aura, for example, that's been bonded with gold, so alchemically bonded with gold, and it forms this blue. So it's kind of like, pick your crystal, pick your quartz. If you're like, oh, I don't really want to work with a clear quartz, you know, I'd rather use a smoky quartz or a citrine, that's fine, you know, go for it. But I really, really love that quartz came out for you as your crystal card. So clarity. And it is like a mental energy thing, right? When we need clarity, that's why you see the lightning bolts here, because this is the element of air or storm in this deck. So it is more centered around the mind. So something, you know, with the mental energy of fire signs. Okay, so now that we've got that, we'll place that to the side, and let's pull a card. There's the storm energy I was just talking about. Isn't that funny? So let's pull a card from the Return of Spirit by Shirley Harnish and see what fractal art wants to come through, what message wants to come through. I love her decks because, to me, you know, I'm very linked into sacred geometry, and just color is a big thing for me as well. So I love how colorful they are, and I love that they really feel like geometric patterns as well. So let's get one We've got clear quartz kind of grounding the reading. And let's get one of these too and see how, if there's any connection between the two. One more time. Simplicity. That makes sense because even with the quartz, crystal quartz, it's, you know, it is like, for me, clear quartz will always be my return to, this is the return of spirit, but clear quartz will always be my return to crystal. It was the first crystal that I ever purchased, you know, when I was 17 years old. It is simplicity. For me, clear quartz just is simplicity. You know, there's not a whole lot of bells and whistles with it, yet it does everything. Simplicity. So let's see what it says in the book about this card. I love this sort of magenta and violet ray that's coming through, the energy of grounding, right? Grounding through like these sort of reds, and then the lavender, like sort of pineal gland, and even crown chakra with the purple. Really is beautiful. So this is talking about life becoming complicated sometimes, and about feeling overwhelmed, and that when we feel overwhelmed is when we should really make the effort and set the intention to return to simplicity. Time to get back to basics. It's a time to take a time out so that you have the space to breathe and the quiet to think. So maybe this is the quiet, sorry, maybe this is like the quiet that I was feeling, you know, that the fire was being contained by the energy of Mary and sort of like held by the energy of Mary. And that's even where this clarity is coming in. So have you been feeling overburdened, confused, sort of, you know, like you need a time out and you need some space to think and you need some quiet time? That's what this is suggesting, both of these cards together, and then the messages that I received in the meditative session. Okay. So this is about giving your life an evaluation, getting back to basics, getting clear about what brings you sustenance in your life. Again, getting clear about what's going to bring you sustenance in your life, that maybe you've taken on too much, or things all of a sudden just feel very complicated. And look, I get it, you know, this energy of Pisces that we've been in, coupled with the Mercury retrograde, has left a lot of people like feeling very out of sorts, especially with the mental energy, and even in their heart space a bit. I think it's kind of like, it's not just a mental thing, it's actually because Pisces is a water sign, and it, you know, it does rule our emotions. This is even translating into the heart chakra energy for me. This is talking about getting back to the things that make you feel the closest to Source, to God, to your spiritual side, that perhaps, you know, there's been too much going on like in the everyday mundane life. So with the full moon coming up tomorrow on March 9th, it's like kind of asking you, what can you release? Really get clear on what you can release to help you get back to more simplistic times, just to like a fresh start. And especially coming up on this Aries, the Aries season and the resetting of the astrological new year. Like, what do you want to take into this new year with you, and what do you wish to release? What do you wish to unburden yourself from? When you are in touch with yourself and Source, it helps to make life more manageable. It helps you to feel steady on your feet and aids you in removing those things which do not align with your highest good. It also frees your energy. It creates space so that you have plenty to give to those things which you do choose to keep in your life. which you do choose to keep in your life. I love it, you guys. Okay, so let's get into the tarot, and I'm going to put the clear quartz here with the clear quartz and the simplicity. And let's see what the tarot wants to say. Okay, so we'll just take a moment. And I call in the divine with love and light. And I call in the 6 elements: earth, air, water, fire, spirit, and ether to join us. And I call in the archangels at the 4 corners of the world. I call in Archangel Metatron to open up the channel to the Akashic Records and bring in the Rainbow Bridge. And Archangel Sandalphon to bring up the crystalline core of Gaia so that we can receive information from Gaia and ground the reading. Okay, so here we go. So what is going on for my dear fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag? And so you know I am a Sagittarius with a Leo moon and a Leo rising. I have planets in Leo, I have planets in Sag. So to say that I am a fire sign would be an understatement, okay? So, you know, when I do readings for fire, I have to really set the intention to remove my own personal life from the reading. And also, that being said, to also understand that I am deeply a part of the collective as well, so that some of this message will pertain to me as well. But as a reader, you know, can read for other elements and feel very detached from it. But with my fire signs, you know, you're my tribe. You are my tribe, you know. So I just wanted to mention that. Sometimes it's nice to know when you're watching a reading, well, what's their sign? You know, what element are they? Oh, I'm fire. I am fire. So I understand the fire element very, very, very well. And I think that's why it's easy for me to also connect with it, you know. So, yeah. Oh, and I have placements in Aries as well. My midhaven is in Aries, which is a very important placement in your natal chart. And then also my Jupiter is in Aries. Abundance coming from me. Expansion coming from me. It's very interesting to have a Jupiter in Aries. Okay. One more shuffle. And we'll get our first card for Aries, Leo, Saggy. What do the cards want to say? 2 of Swords, guys. Interesting. This came up last month in my air sign reading. So this, again, is speaking to needing clarity. Absolutely 100% needing clarity. What do you guys need clarity on? What is going on? What do the fire signs need clarity on? Like, what are you guys dealing with right now? You have to make some kind of a decision. You have 2 very conflicting ideas because this is mental energy here. Our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, and like not being able to see. That's why clear quartz came out. Not being able to see. You know, and like I said, I really get it. It's this Pisces energy, you know, it's going to be clearing up soon, guys. It is. With the 6 of Swords, again, more of this, more swords energy. It's just like all swords right now. So interesting. Going on a journey into less troubled waters. The 6 swords, you know, they represent, it represents like a sort of like a mental journey, like going on a journey and taking the swords with us that most resonate, that like the swords we want to take the swords with us that that speak of truth, the things that are not based in fear, like the thoughts and beliefs and ideas that still serve us. Those are the swords that she takes with her on this journey, or the things that still serve her. So I think you are in a place where you're deciding what belief structures you want to carry forward with you into this next year, you know, into the rest of 2020, or as I was saying, into the real beginning of 2020. Like, what do you want to take with you? What are the things that you can leave behind? What has been holding you back, really? What sets of beliefs have been holding you back? That's what I'm seeing here. We'll see what else wants to come out, though. Fire, fire, fire. Queen of Swords. You guys, what is going on with fire? Wow, so now we've got the Queen of Swords coming up. And the thing about her is that she has a sword of mastery over the suit of swords. Not the way that the king does, but she knows her truth. She knows her truth. So there's a progression here, because we go from the 2 to the 6 to the queen. So there's progress. There is progress happening. It's like she did find clarity. This queen, she did find clarity. And now she's sitting silently. She's sitting silently. That's this silence that I'm hearing. She's not really talking about it. She's not really talking about it. She doesn't feel the need to fight every battle, win every argument. She knows her truth. Interesting. You guys have definitely been through some kind of awakening within your own mind, like a mental awakening of sorts. I think there were things that were holding you back, and I think that see, here's the thinking, you have moved through this stormy energy, or you're moving through it, and this is where, you know, this is where you find the clarity. This is where you find the clarity. And just the plain simplicity of the truth. The plain simplicity of the truth. I'm not feeling so much like this is necessarily your pentacles weighing you down. This could be heart chakra related, but it's manifesting in the mind. So we'll see what else wants to come out, because with this Queen of Swords in particular, you can see on the bottom here, there's the cup. That represents the heart space, our emotions, our desires, like our heart's desires, the emotional body. And it's kind of like in this cage below her foot. So in this case, you know, I'm feeling like you've been putting some feelings aside. You've been putting some feelings aside. This is about mental clarity with you guys, trying to really get clear on something and being able to sit confidently in your truth with that sword of truth in your hand. The Queen of Swords, she's not like the king in that she is like the counselor or the advisor. She's more passive in her energy. Like sometimes I liken her to the High Priestess. She won't necessarily say what she knows or what she's thinking. She won't necessarily speak her truth, but like her throat chakra is open. That's why I wasn't feeling like there was any blockage. Look at all this blue. Her throat chakra is open. She knows her truth. But there's a quietness about it. There's a quietness about her. You've been through some troubled waters. Definitely, you had a storm of the mind, A big storm of the mind. Let's see what else wants to come out, you guys. Funny too, because of, you know, this Pisces energy being so linked to the emotional realms, and this is feeling so mental, you know, and I don't mean crazy mental, you know, I'm talking about the mental energies in general. So I'm not saying you guys are crazy or by any means, not with the Queen coming out, not with this Queen coming out. And also, you know, let's also talk about that this is the air element. This is the air element coming out. And air, you know, it moves, it changes directions. So you really might have been changing your mind a lot about something. Changing your mind a lot. And I feel like with the Queen, you finally committed to one direction for like your mind to be in. But this can also speak to, you know, having to open the mind as well, like clear it out, a clearing of the mental energy, clearing it out, like the Simplicity card was speaking about, clearing out the mental chatter, the, you know, just all of the things that can go on in our minds, clearing that out to create space for being more open-minded. Six of Wands. Victorious, you know, being victorious. You know, this, for me, this, and I think it might actually be is Leo energy right here. So here's the Wands coming in. This is where we're celebrated. This is where we come home after fighting a battle, like the Five of Wands. We come home after fighting the battle and, you know, we're marching in and we're on stage or on top of a horse, being paraded through the audience, and everyone's cheering for us and clapping for us. And that's what this Six of Wands is. So Leo, like standing on the stage, you know, being admired by people, being celebrated by people. You know, you can see closely up like all the people's hands there. And here's that sort of Ace of Wands there with the laurel wreath. So being celebrated. So I think that you're feeling victorious about being able to keep your cool, because also the Swords energy is about communication and how we use our words. How we use our words. The way in which we communicate with others. It's very much about communication. And so I'm wondering if you have been avoiding conflict and verbal conflict with others in a very successful way, or if there was some kind of a debate, an argument, that you were able to be quiet through it and maybe just listen. Because I kept hearing this quietness about you guys. And fire is not always quiet, you know, not always quiet. Judgment. Yes, this is this awakening that I was talking about. There has been an awakening for you guys, but it has been, again, around your mental energies, around, judgment is a clarity. It's an awakening, you know, it is a huge card of transformation. So I'm glad that we had a major come out, because I'm feeling like this is a bigger energy here. And this judgment, you know, is about, it's a rebirth. It is about having a rebirth. Like, you know, normally we see like the dead rising up again. So, but in order for judgment to happen, like we almost have to go through the metaphorical death, where, you know, we can then be brought back to life. like where we've been judged and we've been victorious, because these are coming out together, right? And there is a new clarity. There's like a brand new truth. It's a transformation. It can also be about like second chances and forgiveness. And that's coming out underneath the Six of Swords. I think that this journey here was very important. This journey, this kind of like I was talking about, you know, she's taking only the thoughts and beliefs with her that still serve her. She's leaving the ones that were like those self-sabotaging energies, you know, she's leaving those behind, right? And she's only taking the ones with her that still serve her, and she's moving into calmer waters. And that's exactly, you know, where judgment comes out underneath it. You were victorious. You had an awakening through this process of being stuck, because the Two of Swords energy is very stuck. There's no movement here. You know, it's being like pulled into opposing directions. It's where we can't see the way. And here there's victory underneath that, showing that you have found your way. We're definitely going to get some clarifiers, or we'll just do another 3 cards. We'll do a 9-card spread. So let's see. What else wants to come out? Like the sky has cleared and the storm is over. Like I'm even feeling it in my head right now. I'm definitely feeling that Two of Swords, Six of Swords energy of needing the clarity. But it's cleared, or it's clearing. And that's why there's been this sense of quiet, because your energy is mature enough to know that you don't want to communicate with others when you are in a space of not knowing, of not having your truth intact or being able to express it clearly. So still, that cup is being held very safely by you. So I'm not sure why that is. Well, that's interesting because, oh, I have the deck upside down. Okay, well that makes sense. I was shuffling upside down. Ace of Cups. There's the cup. There is the cup, you guys. There's the cup right there. You see that? The cup, the cup. So with this awakening, there is going to be like a whole opening of your heart chakra again, like an opening of the heart energy again, once again. I think, you know, that's why I saw Mother Mary surrounding the fire. She was, now I understand, like she was keeping it safe and just giving it love and holding the space for fire, and all of this sort of mental energy that seems to be, you know, happening for this timeline that I'm reading for right now. With the Judgment coming out and then the Ace of Cups, I mean, it couldn't be more perfect. This awakening, and then the opportunity for new love to come in. The opportunity for new love, for self-love, just for being able to like give your cup to others again. Because here, when you're in like a space like this, you can't give your cup to anybody. You can't offer a cup to anyone when you're like this. And if you do, it's gonna be, you know, sort of like, I don't know, it wouldn't be full of the right thing. It wouldn't be full of the right thing. You guys have definitely been on a journey. You've definitely taken the journey this winter. You know, this could be like last week, last month, last year kind of a thing. But like the 3 cards that came out, victory, awakening, and you know, the aces hold the potentiality for the whole suit. So it's like, this is a potential here. So what you do with it is up to you. So when the ace comes out, yes, we love to see aces because it shows opportunity. It shows that this energy is available to you. But it's what you choose to do with this energy that determines, you know, the course of your upcoming future. And so that's the beauty, you know, of energy and of tarot, is that it's not necessarily like a prediction. It's more about talking about what energies are available to you. And with the aces, it is all about, you know, what are you going to do with that? You have a new truth. You have a new truth. People are celebrating you. I think that there's a sense of other people seeing this shift in you. That people are seeing a shift in you. And they want to celebrate you. Hopefully. Hopefully. Let's see what comes out underneath that. Maybe you are looking for validation, recognition, you know, from your peers. Hey guys, like, look how far I've come. Like, or they just see it. The 3 of Pentacles. So here's more of the Pentacle energy that's coming in, like for the full moon in Virgo. Working together, building something with other people, you know, being in a space where we are manifesting something. Like the 10 of Pentacles would be the tree that's grown, and the Ace of Pentacles is the seed where we planted the tree, right? Again, that opportunity. The 3 of Pentacles is where we are like sort of working with other people. It's the precursor to the 10. You know, the 8's where like we're really committed and we're becoming the master, but the 3 is where we're like collaborating with other people. So I think that's why I was seeing, you know, with this 2 of Swords and 6 of Swords and now this 3 of Pentacles, that there are other people around you. There are other people that want to work with you. They want to celebrate you. They see that you have this kind of quiet truth about you, this knowing. And I think there are people that want to work with you. Ace of Cups, 3 of Pentacles. I mean, this could be a relationship too, you guys. This could really be a relationship as well, you know. So it's like the building blocks, the 3 of Pentacles, creating the building blocks for something tangible, the things we can see, feel, and touch, the Pentacles. So there are people or a person that wants to work with you. The 2 of Swords and the 6 of Swords and the Queen of Swords is a very solo journey. The first 3 cards that came out, it's like you against your own world. You against your own world. Kind of battling your own mental energies. And everything else that's coming out now is about awakening, transformation, opportunity, forgiveness, second chances, building something, celebration, victory. So this whole Swords energy that you move through, which really could have even been in Aquarius season, precursor to Pisces season, guys. This could have been during like Aquarius season for sure. Page of Cups. So now we've got like this page coming in, another Cups energy, an offer of love, Ace of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, Page of Cups. Someone is definitely making you an offer here. The page is so sweet. It's such a sweet energy, you know. I mean, look at this Page of Cups. Like, he's such a dreamer. He's so sweet. He believes anything is possible. It's so fresh and pure. Inner child. Could be somebody younger. And it could be an aspect of you too, you know, especially with the Queen of Swords here and how the cup has been protected for so long. I feel like that cup's been there a while, and she's literally been guarding it with the sword. Kind of how I saw Mother Mary surrounding the fire. And now this is you. From a heart space, envisioning all of the possibilities of what's in this cup, your cup. So a lot of times when I do readings, even if it feels like there could be a relationship there, there's the devil on the bottom, temptation. My readings lately have really been centered around empowering the reader. Even if I'm feeling like, okay, this might be about a relationship, I keep going back to the inner work, the responsibility that we have to ourselves, to work on ourselves. And that could be it. This is like with the Three of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups, the work that you've been doing on yourself. The work that you've been putting into, you know, this judgment energy, this resurrection, this total resurrection of yourself. You almost had to like die a little bit this winter. There we go. Beautiful. I mean, just a beautiful way to end like a 9-card spread. See my undrank coffee. Just an absolutely lovely way to end this 9-card spread with the Sun card. You guys, with Aries season coming in, I'm gonna make myself lower. This is really going to be your time. Like, your fire is coming back, you guys. For this timeline and this collective that this reading is for, it's not that you lost your spark. Like I said, even in the beginning when I was feeling into the energy of fire, I didn't feel, the fire wasn't out, you know, the fire was still there. It was still there. It was just contained. And with this Sun energy coming out as the 9th card, like, this is going to be your fire absolutely exploding, where like it will be released from this little cage here, you know, and you are going to have a full-on like heart chakra explosion, because it's coming up underneath the Ace of Cups and the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is kind of like she's keeping that heart space safe. The Ace of Cups is where we're like, okay, let me open up my heart. I know the opportunity's there. I feel it wanting to open. And then the Sun is where we just let it all, like, it all comes out. It's a breakthrough. It's just shining a light on everything around it. It's so beautiful. This is so beautiful. You went through like this storm, and with this spring equinox, this autumn equinox, depending on where you're watching from, coming through, there is just going to be an absolute like surge coming from out of you, and then, you know, as above, so below. law of attraction, it is going to come right back down through you. It's like almost instantaneous. So that is so beautiful, you guys. I really love it. 7 of Wands on the bottom of the deck, where we've just decided, you know, we know what's worth fighting for. She's in this bubble. She's like, I am the oracle. I am the yogi. I know what's worth fighting for, because Wands is fire energy. I know what's worth the fight. I know what isn't worth the fight. I fought my own internal battles, and I was victorious. And I was victorious. You know, I might like do a bonus reading for you guys, just because, you know, I could feel kind of the energy being a little bit difficult, the words to get through today. It's like the very last day of Mercury Retrograde, well, today and tomorrow. The one thing I am going to do is I'm going to pull 1 card for Aries, 1 card for Leo, and 1 card for Sag. So we're going to take the same deck. I'm just going to give it like a good shuffle, and then I'll pull an Aries, a Leo, and a Sag. And then I really do want to do a card from the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. Because with these energies coming out, this awakening, you know, this heart chakra energy, this air energy coming through, like, I'm definitely getting the starseed vibe here. So anyway, let's do 1 card for Aries, 1 card for Leo, and 1 card for Sag. And we'll just do boom, 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 one right after the other, just to get like an overall energy for each of you for the rest of this month. So Aries, Leo, and Sag. Aries first, Leo second, Saggy third. Okay, so Aries, 6 of Pentacles. So this is about equal giving and receiving, balancing your scales in the physical, making sure that what you're giving out is what you're receiving back from other people, creating harmony within your givings and your receivings. If you feel like you're in a space to, you know, perhaps even giving charity to others with the divine law of compensation, knowing that it'll come back to you, and just also being able to receive. So that might be something that you need to work on. Leo, 10 of Wands. Okay, so Leos, you've been really busy. You've accumulated 10 wands because you're so inspired, so creative, so full of life. And so you're almost there, you're almost home, you know, whatever that home is like for you, or whatever that means to you, like you're almost there. Is there something that you could do a little bit differently? Can you drop any of these wands? Do you have to take all of them? Is there a way to sort of like reshuffle things? I'm hearing, again, going back to the 6 of Pentacles, like balancing your scales a little bit. Is there something that you can drop? But this is speaking to like just the inspiration of Leo, just how inspired and creative Leo is, that they would accumulate 10 wands. Leo's going to carry all the fire, right? So just seeing, you know, you may be a little tired, Leo, or trying to figure out, you know, how you can make it to the destination. And the 10 of Wands comes in to say you are almost there. It's basically like a completion of this cycle, and just seeing like what you can perhaps let go of, or see if there's help out there for you. Oh shoot, I'm sorry, Saggy, I just picked up the deck and I shuffled. I wonder what was under there for you. Oh, okay, it was meant to be something different. Okay, Saggy, well now you can't be mad at me. King of Pentacles energy for Sagittarius. That's amazing, you guys. Saggies, you're the entrepreneur here. You're the king, mastering Pentacles. Whatever ideas you have, whatever creative inspirations you have, you can be successful with them. You can be really successful with them, and know your worth, Saggies. Know your worth. Look at how wise this King of Pentacles is, and he's protected. So this is saying that your business venture is safe. It's being guarded, protected by spirit here, okay? and go for it. Go for it, because he is, you know, the most successful entrepreneur in the deck, you know, maybe second to the Emperor, but he's a self-made man. So whatever you have been working on, Saggy, keep doing it. Keep doing it. It's going to lead to success. Look how happy he is. And he's protected. His vision is protected. His goals are protected. You're protected, Sag. So if you've been, you know, wondering, now you know. And at the bottom of the wands, bottom of the deck for all of you is the Three of Wands. Your ship's coming in, guys. Your ship's coming in. Awesome. Perfect ending to the fire reading for the tarot portion. I'm so excited for you guys. I really am. I was a little concerned there in the beginning, you know, with all this mental energy, just thinking that you're being like sort of weighed down by your mind. And I get it, you know, that's where the growth comes from though. It's almost like when you get sick of your own shit. And that's where the awakening comes in, right? Mental patterns, the mind is like, why is it the hardest thing to overcome, you know? So you may have been actually doing a lot of meditation and things like that. So let's get a starseed oracle card and just see what wants to come through for the air signs. I looked at how long we've been going for, and it was at 1:01 and 11 seconds. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect for you guys. The sun. I just love it. I just absolutely love that the sun came out as your last card. I love it. There's nothing to fear, you know, there's nothing to fear here. There are people that want to work with you, and there are people that are offering you friendship, love. If you're already in a relationship, if this is a relationship reading, okay, let's just do this. If this is a relationship reading, there was definitely some confusion about this relationship. There's been changes to the relationship. There's been a second chance for your relationship. It took you perhaps creating space in that relationship. Maybe not a breakup, but taking a time out. Kind of like what Simplicity was talking about, taking a time out for quiet. Where you had to like come into a space of your own truth again, but also coming from a place of fairness, and deciding that the relationship could be victorious and giving it a second chance with the Judgment card. So if this is a relationship reading, I do feel as though you're ready to give it a second chance, come back together and do the work. You know, with just a set of totally fresh eyes from a very, very pure place. From a very pure place, and it's blessed. And, you know, it holds all the potential. Holds all the potential. So that's what I'm seeing for if this is a relationship reading. And if you're an Aries and it's a relationship reading, make sure that what you're giving is what you're getting back. Make sure that you're not taking too much. You know, it needs to be balanced. If you're a Leo and this is your relationship reading, you've been carrying the burden of it, and you need to drop some of the burden and let your partner take on some of it. If you're a Sag and this is your relationship that we're talking about, you're wearing the pants, so to speak, and you have so much to give, and be grateful for that, is what I'm hearing. If this is your relationship reading and you're a Sag, person you could be dealing with is this person, actually. And they want to really build something with you. Really build something with you. I'm feeling like this would be your partner. And perhaps they were wavering in the relationship. And if that is the case, I think that they're coming back with a really solid commitment for you. With a really solid commitment. But you both have a lot to give, because Queen of Swords, King of Pentacles, those are two pretty powerful energies. Sagittarius, I'm not too worried about you. You've got King and Queen energy, so it's all good in your world. All good for sure. And I love this King of Pentacles, Saggy, because if you look at the pentacle, you can see like the sparkles around it. Like that is a seriously magical pentacle. It's a magical pentacle. Like this work that you've been doing, this idea, this business venture, this creative project, your home, if you're like rebuilding your home. I don't know why I just heard that. It's so blessed, it's so magical, it's so inspired. Like it has like a fiery feel to it, that Pentacles with the King of Pentacles. It definitely has like a fiery energy to it. Like he's super sparkly, so I love it. It is one sparkle king. He's like a sparkle king. So wise. Okay, this one flipped over. This is talking about staying grounded and seeding the light. Seeding the light. I think that's like what clear quartz does. It seeds light. Even when you think of like Lemurian seed crystals, this is a Lemurian seed. So this is what came out. Star Keeper. Look at that. That is like a seed of light. A cosmic ancestor. So this would be like your ancestor from the cosmos. Seed the light by staying grounded. And it is like a seed of light over this this ancient Egyptian figure here that is in like a cosmic egg. And inside is a portal and a doorway and a gateway that you can go through. So perhaps even using, look at how similar these two crystals look. Oh my God, I'm just noticing that. That is so funny. So let's read what the book has to say about that. Star Keeper. You are an ancient keeper of the stars, here to anchor and seed your light in your own unique way. You've likely been incarnating on Earth for some time, dedicated to an era of awakening and bringing about a long-awaited shift in the planet's evolution. We are at a tipping point now. The survival of Earth and all of its species is coming to a head. The more grounded you remain during this transitional period, the more helpful you'll be. The more you tend to the flames of your own heart, the more you'll anchor onto this planet. The more love you'll anchor onto this planet. The wisdom of the stars is imprinted in your soul. The more soul fragments you call home, the more the more this wisdom is seated here. So this is talking about calling in soul fragments. You may be called to be in different places in the world to anchor this light. Perhaps by taking a trip or living in a certain location. You may also find yourself experiencing awakening symptoms. Judgment card. The more grounded you remain, the more stable Earth's energy will become, and the less reactive humanity will be. You're here for a double mission. Listen to this. To grow as an individual and as a part of a larger collective that's bringing about a shift in frequency. So it's about being an individual, but also about being a part of this greater collective of people who are here to bring in the light and help humanity awaken. Trust that you can be in the world, but not of it, and lead a truly glorious life. And then she gives us an activation. So looking at this card, I'm gonna give you the activation. I acknowledge that I am a star keeper. I choose to anchor my light and stay as grounded as possible. Beautiful, you guys. So that is like, you know, the connection, the alignment of all of your chakras, particularly the crown and the root. And so if that was an activation that you wanted to do with one of your crystals, would be to help you stay grounded and help you anchor the light. You are bringing in the light. Look at that. So this is going to be you, right? And it's tarot timing. So with these energies, you know, the Swords energy you may have moved through last year. You may still be moving through it. And then this would be like a validation for you that, you know, the light is coming and your heart's reopening and your judgment is coming. You know, the awakening is coming. You may have already gone through this judgment, this awakening process, and now you're in a place where you're ready to open your heart again. Your heart's feeling open. You're ready to work with other people and, you know, just really shine your light. And so this is saying that through this process, because you have been through this judgment and the sun energy is around you, about anchoring it. Because if we're just, you know, receiving light and giving light, you know, it almost needs to be sort of like not contained, but directed, if that makes sense. And so your crystals can help you direct this. Meditation, earthing, grounding exercises, you know, getting your feet into the earth. This month, if you can do that, really would be helpful. If you're having, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere and it feels like, you know, if you're having some warmer days, go put your feet in the earth, you know, just sit on the earth. Even from your own quiet space, you can definitely do that, you know, where you're just envisioning your feet, you know, and you plant them very firmly on the floor. You kind of like move your feet around, your toes around, spread your toes out, and you can feel the energy of the earth below you. And then a very simple meditation is, you know, you do your breathing, and then you imagine that your feet are growing roots, that your feet have roots, and you just see them going down, 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 as far down into the core of the earth as you can feel them going. And actually, you know, imagine them just anchored there. Not so much that you can't move, but imagining this connection into the earth. And Archangel Sandalphon is an archangel energy that you can bring in to help with your connection into the earth. He's very helpful with that. So I think if it's okay with you, we're going to do one more card, and that's from the Archangel Metatron Self-Mastery Oracle deck by Amanda Ellis. And just because we're talking about Sandalphon, I'm getting the hit that Archangel Metatron wants us to know something. So we're going to ask Archangel Metatron to please give us one card for the element of fire, Aries, Leo, Sag, and from the element of fire for the next, you know, 3.5 weeks, really, for the next 3 weeks through the end of March. With regards to this reading and with regards to this spread, what would you like my dear fire signs to know? Codependency, key to freedom. 53, breaking down to an 8, and today is March 8th. Okay, so we'll take that as a sign. And this is actually interesting. I'm not seeing any codependency happening like between you and another person, because I think that with this reading, it's been very clear that you have been, like, even if you're in partnership or in relationship, you have been taking a time out and doing a solo journey. Maybe there was some codependency before, and maybe that was something that you dealt with. But here we see a tree, right? And the roots and the interconnectedness between them, the interconnectedness between all things. So this card speaks to interdependency versus codependency. See how there's a key, and there's a key to that lock that seems to be like linking these trees forever. It does speak to what I was talking about. You know, maybe Metatron was like just picking up on and listening to me talk about roots, imagining ourselves growing these roots like trees, you know, out of our feet in order to be grounded, which trees are obviously super grounded, you guys. So maybe he was just sort of picking up on this, but on that energy that I was speaking about. But also interdependency versus codependency. So, you know, being interdependent, where we realize that we are connected, but that we are still separate. So if you've been going through any kind of a relationship where there is some codependency, this is saying the key to freedom. It's like letting things fall away. Perhaps maybe this is for some of you in the southern hemisphere, going into autumn and letting things fall away. Also speaking to the new moon and what do you need to release. Are there any relationships in your life that have been like keeping you feeling locked in? Is there anything, any relationships that are making you feel locked in? We're gonna take one more. And if there are, you know, unlock that door, unlock it, and set yourself free. And I don't feel that this is particularly a problem for this group, but it may resonate for some of you. It really may resonate, and maybe that's like what this new truth is for you, and kind of like dealing with partnership in a new way now, in a whole new way. Aries especially, because you have the Six of Pentacles come out. Making sure that your giving and receiving is equal, that you're not over giving. Leo even, if you've been carrying the burden in your relationships, in your work relationships, family, partnerships, let other people take some of that burden. I don't know, Saggy, this King of Pentacles. Maybe, hopefully you're not dependent on someone. I was like, kind of sugar daddy. I hope you're not doing that, Sag. Saggies are very independent. So if you have been relying on this King of Pentacles to kind of take care of you, you know, it's time to put in the work too. That could just be for a few of you. Metatron, please give us one more card. Oh, I love it. This is his confirmation to let us know that he indeed hears us and that he's here with us. And we're going to read from the book. So fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag, and for the element of fire, fire. That's your card from Metatron. 19, breaking down to a 20 or a 2. 2020. So he's saying that this year 1 and 9 is I'm sorry, 9, 1 and 9, 10, sorry. Dragon strength. And here we see this incredible fire dragon and this pyramid of focused energy, directed energy. So I was talking about directing, really being able to direct the energy. So let's read from the book. And this is what the book looks like. This is the Archangel Metatron Self-Mastery Oracle. And we're gonna go to 19. Dragon Strength, one of the most powerful allies in the deck. The Metatron Fire Dragon roars into your life, giving you strength, courage, and fortification. The dragon is here to burn away and transmute any lower energies that have been around you, toxic people, neediness, negativity, fear, anger. You are reminded that as a light worker, there is a need to protect and purify your energy at all times so that you don't become depleted or susceptible to darker energies that may see your light and try to bring you down. You have nothing to fear. The fire dragon is here to safeguard you, your home, and those you love. Call on him whenever you need him. He flies before you with a mighty wingspan and piercing eyes, able to clear your path and remove any dangers. And he is able to see all from his skyline position. So this dragon can see everything from its vantage point, including that which is behind you. The pyramid contains Metatron's orange flame. And this is here for you anytime you feel an attack on your power base or divine self. And maybe this is why you guys have been kind of quiet, because you're protecting your energy. The tetrahedron shape of the pyramid links to your solar plexus, and the dragon brings this powerful energy toward you to lift away any fear or negativity that sits in your core trying to make you feel small. Nobody's going to be making you feel small this spring, fire sign. Nobody. Not with the Sun card coming up, and not with Metatron's dragon coming up. Nobody's going to be allowed to make you feel small. If that's what you've been dealing with, yeah, you have nothing to worry about. His fire won't burn you, okay? His raw strength mirrors your own. So whether this is your own doing or someone else's attack on your confidence, he's here to remind you that you are powerful beyond measure. His raw strength mirrors your own, which is why he often flies in when you're facing real difficulty, telling you to dig deep, see beyond the immediate problems, and transmute all that is no longer needed in the fire he carries around him. How perfect for tomorrow's full moon, or whenever you're seeing this, how perfect for releasing. Burn it up. Let this fire dragon burn it all up. His fire won't burn you. It will provide heat and courage to keep you going through times of adversity and positivity. He also reminds you of the need to have fire in your belly, to speak up, be heard, and stand up for what you believe. Maybe there has been an injustice around you, or you have strong, passionate views that others need to hear. He asks you not to be afraid to fight for what you know is right and fair. Queen of Swords. There are times both in the collective and in our individual lives when this is necessary. Leave no space for being walked over, disregarded, or ignored. Instead, call on your spiritual might and insist to tackle what needs facing with love and strength and conviction. The dragon will stay for as long as he is needed, until any challenge is won. He fights for the light, understanding that darkness exists, but knows he is equipped with everything needed for anything he may meet. And he will win, 6 of Wands, and have your best interests at heart always. One of nature's correctors and balancers, call on this fire to help you today. Beautiful. It's so perfect for fire, and that's how I know that the reading is done. So we went really long. If you're still with me, thank you so much. I would love to hear any comments and just see if any of this resonated for you guys. You know, with tarot, it's not so much about focusing on the future. I'm not like a predictive tarot reader. I can tell you what energies are available to you. I can help you to maybe make sense of some of the energies that you've moved through. And I really hope that I've been able to tap into that today and to provide you with spiritual guidance and inspiration, because this is a fire reading. So fire sign, I love you all so much. From one fire sign to another, I appreciate you so much, and the light that you bring into this world, how needed it is. The positivity that you bring into the world, how needed it is. You know, go shine your light, guys. Like, really and truly, go and shine your light on this world. This is you. This is the light that you have to bring, and the fire that surrounds you. When you think of your element, when you think of it, just remember that this is what that element looks like. If you're connected to Archangel Metatron at all, you know, which I think a lot of you might be, and the energy of the Merkaba, Metatron's cube, our vehicle for ascension and for healing, definitely call on Metatron this month and every month. He's always with you anyway, especially if you came across my channel, you know, he's always with you anyway. And just remember what we talked about in the beginning, and that is clarity and simplicity. You don't have to overcomplicate things, especially with all that mental energy. Like, I even feel clearer right now. Like, even just, you know, with this dragon energy coming through, I feel like he's already burned so much of it away. Did you feel a clearing? I'm really wondering if you felt an activation from me reading Amanda Ellis's channeled words. I definitely felt a clearing just happen, so hopefully you guys did too. And just remember, simplicity, back to basics, one step at a time, you know, one day at a time. I love you guys so much, and I wish you just an amazing rest of March, and the next time I see you, we'll see when that is, hopefully for Aries season, if I can fit something in, you know, towards the end of the month, maybe like a special for the Equinox. I would really love to do that. So I wish you all the best, and take care, and I'll talk to you real soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.